call to order.
Call to order
It is
is
6:42.
6:42.
Yep.
Do we need to be recording or?
Are you recording for us? Yep. Awesome, thank you.
Is there actually a person around that corner?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we had a CPC meeting and they weren't here.
Yes, I'm pretty sure because I didn't see that recording. That's the only one I haven't seen.
Okay, because we weren't sure. We're like, I
You
don't
just ask them and
know.
they'll bob it for
Well,
you.
that's what we said. Well,
Yeah.
they bob it, and then like one of them was red and the other one wasn't.
Yeah, that
like,
doesn't
I don't
mean
know
anything.
what the heck.
There's always one red.
Okay,
Okay.
so we weren't sure.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Okay, so
I
anyways.
digress.
So the first item I had was acceptance of minutes, but I don't know if anyone prepared minutes.
I sent you them like 2 minutes ago.
Oh,
So
like literally 2 minutes
I
ago?
don't know when I sent them. I was like, before I left my house. I'm like, crap, I forgot to send this.
Well, that doesn't
Um,
help.
I don't know when I sent them. It should show.
Hold on, yeah, it should show. Did you send it to?
I said sorry for the no notice. It was 6:32, so I was already late for the meeting at the time. But at least I sort of remembered there was a
Okay.
meeting tonight. I'll be there as soon as I can. And then there was the minutes, which are kind of all over the map because really it was kind of a round,
Yes.
roaming discussions, but very little guidance. And I meant to follow up with Nate and ask him to send me the verbiage that he had come up with for the committee.
Oh, okay.
And he hadn't. I completely blanked and didn't email him, and I didn't see it on our website, so I couldn't copy it down.
Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't mean like our goals that he set.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean, I'm sure he has it,
yes.
and it's just a case of asking him to send it. So if you read the minutes, the actual verbiage isn't in it because I didn't write it down because I was gonna get it from him, and then I
Yep.
just didn't.
Well, I can't even pull them up, so. Nope. I'm refreshing, I got nothing. The last one I got was.
Oh, you know why? Maybe I have the wrong
6:18.
address for you, because the address that I had for you was a weird one.
Okay.
It came up.
Oh, yeah, you sent it to the wrong email address.
It came up as Kate and something.
Yeah, hold on.
And I was like, that doesn't seem right, but my
Nope.
phone kept going back to that,
Yeah.
J&K Apartments.
Yeah, that's my private.
All right, I don't know
one
why
of my
I have
private.
that.
Boy Scouts.
Oh, okay,
I bet you money it's Boy Scouts.
probably, cause I'm
Okay.
like, I can't make this go away, cause it keeps going back to
Alright.
that one.
Yeah, so you gotta put me in your phone as kyoung@hubbardstonma.us.
Okay,
So in your contacts. And then it will go to that one. You can take the other one out if you choose. I have like,
yeah, I could
I
not
think-
make that go away.
I have like 6 or 7
Alright.
emails and a bunch of them are town emails, like different relations of something for the town, you know, Girl Scouts, Hubbardston Scholarship Committee, all kinds of good stuff.
So yeah, those are the minutes, and I sent them out late, but there wasn't much really on them. I spelled your name wrong though, I added an E, because you should have an E.
Everybody does that. It's, yep,
So we'd have to correct that.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Torigny.
Torigny, okay.
Yeah, we don't pronounce it the way it should be.
Oh, I wouldn't know the right
Tur-
way.
Turini.
Okay. I
It's
no offense.
French Canadian, but
Wouldn't know the right way anyway, so.
oh boy, this won't open up.
Contamination.
Just open up.
It's gonna be a riveting video for
He wants
whoever's
me to
watching.
sign up, so.
Well, here, you can just
Yeah,
read it on my
thank you.
phone.
Oh, there's a lot there. Call to order, discussion, production plan. Oh, this is really nice.
This is right nominated Danielle. Way better than I do.
Well, I kept saying, oh, I'll have to stop and look at the video, and then I just didn't.
Yeah. No, it looks good.
There wasn't too much.
No, other than just getting that mission statement, other than that, it
Yeah.
looks good.
Okay,
So would you like to make a motion to
I would like to
accept?
make a motion to accept the
And I will
minutes.
second said motion.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
I'm gonna forward these.
Thanks.
Different email.
And then the next item was public comment.
None.
No members of the public here to
Yeah.
comment?
And then I just wanted to review this housing production plan, because I don't know, since it's already here, the bones are here, we probably should just renew it and keep the state off of us that way,
When's,
but I don't know
It's
what,
not, it's due,
2024.
yeah, it doesn't expire till
But we'd
April
have
2024.
to start working on it.
Yeah, and I think it would make sense to, cause that was actually paid for, but like a consultant was
Okay.
brought in to do that production plan, I'm pretty sure, cause I think CPC gave the money for it,
Oh,
to help start
Really?
coming up with the plan.
So then you'd have to
Okay.
go to town
Um,
meeting and get money, so that's
Well,
why
I mean,
you
if
have
it,
to
if the,
start.
I don't think anything has drastically changed since 2017 and now,
okay.
in 2024, as far as like what our
Well, this
hopes
one
would
says
be.
November 2010.
No, I saw 2017.
Yeah,
Hmm.
2017.
Okay, so then I have the wrong one then, in mind that what Nate just
That he
sent us.
sent you.
Yeah.
Well, this is on the town website.
Okay, I'll have to get that then, cause I have the wrong one. Let's see.
Because it's just really like updating data, and then there are some places where they passed on their own recommendations, so you might wanna just revisit that
yeah.
piece.
That would make sense. We have another year to do that. I wouldn't recreate the whole thing, and I think
No,
when Alice
right,
was here, she
right.
said the same thing. There's really no reason.
I
Now,
agree.
you'd have to get like maybe some different demographic information as far as
Right,
like incomes
definitely.
and that sort of thing that may have changed, and property values
A
that
lot
may
of
have
things
changed.
Okay, yeah,
But-
like that kinda input.
But that stuff, you know, a couple meetings you could do that,
Bang
you
that
know.
stuff out.
But I didn't see anything in there that I was like, oh, this is crazy, why are they saying this, we should be doing that, you know what I mean, did you? I mean, I didn't.
I haven't even been able to, cause Alice had it all in paper form.
No,
and
Kristen sent it. Back before the first meeting, and it's
Okay.
actually on the website for that first meeting.
That's what I'm looking, I'm trying to, where is it on the website?
On Hubbardston, Mass.
Go to planning, and then there should be
Is that the
documents
planning?
on the left.
Planning board?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
think
where
that's
I'm
right.
trying to figure out where to find it. Planning board,
And then on the left, there's a whole bunch of documents.
Yeah. marijuana, master list. Bylaws, form, gravel, housing production plan, there we go, 2019. Right, revised, yeah, it says revised and updated 2017 though on the actual.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. I'm like, what the heck?
Maybe that's when they put it on here in
It
2019.
might be, by the time I finally got through everything.
Cause it does cite laws too, so you'd have to just double check those laws.
That
The
they still
laws are
exist,
They haven't
accurate,
updated.
yeah. Alright. Yeah, it's 42 pages of fun.
But it's, I mean, most of it would stay unchanged.
Mm-hmm. I agree, cause this looks,
Like on page 5, it says, continue to apply for Commonwealth capital scoring. The housing committee has not pursued this effort and determined it was of minimal benefit to the community.
Right, so there was whatever we'd get out of going through all the motions for that wouldn't offset the need for building, I would
I
assume.
don't even know what that is, Commonwealth capital scoring.
it's one of those things.
It's one of the, like, the state kind of scores different communities based on a whole bunch of different criteria that decides whether or not we're hitting the marks, you know?
So how would we approach going about renewing this?
Does this have to go to town vote,
I don't think so.
or does it have to just go to, back to planning for a go over and a public hearing,
It would probably, that would probably be the steps,
the public hearing,
yeah,
and then we re-adopt it?
I would think so. I mean, we'd have to read up on what the Mass General Law, Chapter 40B, 760, you know,
Yeah.
what it is, cause that would decide how you actually get it on
I'm
there.
sorry, I don't work when you drive over.
This goes actually, this goes back.
What's going on?
Hi.
There we go, we can pick Nate's brain, cause
Hello.
he's coming back
How are
in.
you?
Nate's like, great,
It's like, there was a meeting in here, I told you.
No,
I
he
just
knows.
tease
I
it.
thought you were not coming.
No, I said I barely remember, and I
Oh,
was gonna
okay.
be late, but I was gonna be, it was more like Hubbardston time.
yes,
For the meeting.
which is always 15 minutes late.
Oh, good.
I have
This is
informed
Mary, the
people.
new treasurer collector.
Hi, I'm
How are you?
Danielle.
It's nice to meet you,
Nice
Danielle.
meeting you too.
I left
You're
my
freezing.
phone. I know,
Oh.
it's got cold out there.
Hi, Mary.
Hi.
I'm Maria Tarigby.
Maria, okay,
Hi.
nice to meet you
Nice
too.
to meet you.
Alright. I'm sure
Would you like
I'll
to
see
re-meet
this
me?
one.
I'm
Oh my
Katie,
God,
how you
What is
doing?
your name, Katie? Okay.
That's with a Y, no.
EY?
Yeah, no kidding.
EE?
Yes.
Must be
Alright,
nice
enjoy.
to have a
Thank you
treasurer.
very
It is nice to
much.
have a treasurer. Thank you,
Yeah,
Mary.
it's good always to have somebody to sign the checks and everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
It'll
a
keep
plus.
money moving,
Yes, please, oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
We went to
Gonna
talk
keep
to the
it.
fire department during their monthly meeting and training. And
Just
then-
remember, you're being recorded.
And then they got called out.
Oh, okay, I'm just
Oh,
saying, whatever
yes.
you're about to say, just remember you're being recorded.
Yeah, and then they got
Okay.
called
Big
out
chimney
onto
fire.
onto an actual call.
Oh,
Like,
hope
Just
everybody's
enough time.
okay.
That was the end of that
Jimmy
meeting.
Fire.
yeah, only
That
the
doesn't
good
mean
stuff.
anything.
I know,
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
I don't think
okay.
that'll happen
Perfect.
here.
It could. Somebody call someone.
Yeah, fun.
Thank you, Mary. See you tomorrow.
Nice to meet you.
Bye,
I'll
Mary.
see you
Meeting
soon,
you.
Katie. I'll see you in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Alright. Okay, so we were asking about this super fun, really, really long document that's on the town website that you managed to somehow send me the old version of, I don't know how, but
The housing production
yes.
plan.
Yes.
How
Our
do
current
we-
plan is to that we would just review it and then re-adopt it in 2024. This is
Mhm.
the steps, like what is the steps required to adopt that? Does it have to go to town meeting? I don't remember voting on
I
it.
don't believe it would have to go to
Okay.
town meeting.
It would go
Public-
through planning
public
It
board.
would go
hearing?
through the planning board. You would need a public hearing for it. We may want to work with a planning agency. When I was in Princeton, we did a public, a housing production plan committee, and they went through it with the assistance of CMRPC for approximately a year.
Yeah.
It wasn't as quick per se, especially we don't wanna take any shortcuts because the administration is prioritizing housing.
Mhm.
So, and whether you believe in the type of things the administration believes in or not, we have to play the game as it is fielded. So we should absolutely.
I think the plan that they had up, they did hire a consultant for that initially.
Yeah.
So it would just be review of that with similar ideals, I would hope.
Absolutely.
Is there somebody in-house that we could have review this, or some, like, I don't know if it could get sent to.
If I had like a part-time
Planner, I know, I've heard, where have I heard this, like, repeatedly?
I'm asking for a part-time planner in the budget.
Good luck with that. I'm asking for a road to, so.
Yeah.
I think it'll be all right, but no, he would likely.
Did you email him?
No,
about
I have
that
not.
today?
No.
Oh, another road.
Today's a roads day.
Yes,
In
so-
in my career.
So you know
field.
what you should do? You should drive down High Street, the legal way, on the side you're supposed to,
That was one
and
of the
see how
roads.
your car
The
actually
legal way.
handles that.
That was one of the roads.
Cause we are at the point now on our street where we sit there and go, crap, there's another guy coming, I have to go on the right side of the road.
No,
and
you
it's
just pull over,
horrifying.
stop,
Oh, we've
and
done that
wait
too. We've
for them
done
to get
that
back
too.
on the other side.
But nobody ever comes until you're there in that
Yeah.
spot where you can't pull
We're
over.
not- it's-
Yeah,
it's
that's when
not
you
good.
find them.
It's
So
not
had
good.
we had this discussion a little bit earlier, I could have applied for a DLTA, a direct local technical assistance grant through our planning association.
Mhm.
But we did just recently get two of them, one to finish the master plan and one to look into the agricultural access bylaws.
My actual street was on a roads plan to be paved last year.
In 2022.
And then it just disappeared because someone decided that the better plan was to put it through the Complete Streets grant for the beautification of the center and add sidewalks and have new engineering that was gonna cost a ridiculous amount of money for nothing. Versus actually just following the plan that they'd already laid out.
Well, I was talking about the housing production plan.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the streets plan.
No. We will someday talk about the street plan, though. I haven't
No,
gotten to
no.
the street plan yet during my tenure here.
No, some of my little older neighbors, they were hysterical. They're like, I know, I saw it. Then they go on the website. It's like, it's right here. I'm like, I know. Funny how that changed, isn't it? An actual amount of money dedicated to it disappeared.
Yeah, it went to a different street because they shuffled them. Once that went into the.
But that was a grant applied for that street that suddenly disappeared to another road. And then that plan disappeared for a while, then it came back online. It was very interesting.
I know
We'll
that.
go with interesting.
I know they did because they came and did the presentation.
That was for the center beautification thing.
That was, no, the complete streets for High Street, they came into
Right,
the
but
presentation.
that was when they were gonna try to tie it into the center beautification. This plan was before that.
Prior to the center?
Prior to that, there was a whole date
Okay.
list of all these streets that were gonna be done and the amounts of monies that were prioritized for those streets, and then that plan just went off the website.
Okay.
And then
that
it came
wasn't-
back on the website, but you had to really search for it to
Okay.
find it. I'm
Yeah,
like, well,
that
that's
was
funny.
before me then, cause the town center was started long before I.
No, yeah, it had nothing to do, it
Yeah.
actually had nothing to do with Sound Center. There was it was like a schedule of when the roads
Yeah,
would be worked on.
yeah,
And it went through all kinds of different streets, and all of a
Mhm.
sudden, all of that just disappeared. I'm like, huh, weird. And not just our street, other streets too.
other streets.
Dogwood North went
That was
like
the
20 years later.
$1 That was the $1 million roads plan from 2014?
May have
That
been.
we just paid off?
It may have been.
Alright, so anyway,
Housing.
getting back to
Yeah.
this, again, this is gonna be riveting to whoever is watching this meeting at home.
You're the one watching.
I know, I'm the only one that watches them all. I'm the only one.
But so we'd have to we know the process. We just have to find out who would be the consultant.
To go through it, because yeah, you can't really send this to legal.
It's 42 pages.
Yeah. Cause somebody's just basically gonna pick through it and make sure everything's still correct and proper compared to how, like you said, how the state wants us to
Mhm.
do things. Cause again, this is it's gonna be tedious for somebody to sit and go through.
Well, you'd have to know all the general laws too.
Yeah,
And
exactly,
then
well,
all the
you'd have to go back
demographics.
and
Yeah.
reference, so it'd be, again,
So what's the
very
first step in
tedious.
getting that to happen? Like, how do you get a consultant? Don't you have to pay them?
Yeah.
So what's the process?
Tell
It would-
budget
it-
man
it-
over
it-
there.
It would go through me.
Yes.
Like, absolutely. And at this point, I'm hesitant to say anything because
Yeah.
we did just accept 2 of those grants.
Mhm.
They're grants on their end, they're grants on my end for feathers and caps, but in reality, it's a weird program.
Yeah.
But
Is there anywhere else we could get a grant for that?
that I will look into for you.
Okay.
And we
Let
do
me get
have
my
until
notebook.
2024
Yeah.
for this to have to be readopted.
Yeah.
And the planning board may have some, I don't know if the planning board has any budget for any kind of consultant hirings.
They don't.
Oh,
Nobody has any budget.
cause I mean, ultimately it goes through them,
Yeah,
so
yeah, all these kinds of things usually flow through.
we
them.
could advise them on it, but it would go to them to whether or not
Yeah.
they're gonna put somebody on it, I would imagine.
Well, 2024 is next year,
Yeah, but we'll be
so,
fine. Everything gets delayed.
Again, it's hovers in time. Our master plan is like,
10 years overdue.
yeah, I know. By the time we get it done, it'll be time to start a new one. Just,
So,
eh. Ah, goodness.
I can look into what our options for consulting services would be and if people in the field even think we would need one since we aren't updating a document from 1975.
No.
We're-
right.
Yeah, this is from 2017. At the most, I would like look at like basic numbers for,
Yeah, the
like this,
data.
Yeah.
like
And
year
the law is still
2014
what it was
average
then.
single family home tax bill, like that's obviously gonna be
gonna
changed,
change a little
yeah.
bit. I was surprised that the population numbers didn't seem to skew up as much as I thought,
No,
cause I would've thought that would've been a bigger growth, but.
no. So we haven't really added that many homes.
No, and it's been controlled growth, like
Yeah.
really, really controlled.
Well, no, we never even hit the controlled growth once all the condos stopped. There was no, we never came near that number every year.
All right, I will look into housing plan consultants and if we end up not being able to find a consultant, maybe Mark Cressage will work with us on it and me and him can look through it with you guys, or I can ask Chris Monroe, who is an attorney, his opinion on some of the stuff. We may want to, as homework, go through and figure out some of the different areas that may need to be changed. I would suggest breaking it up. Are there chapters in this? by section if there's not chapters in it,
Yeah, it's not.
so that nobody is set looking through a document in its entirety.
Yeah, cause it's, yeah,
Yeah, here it
some of
says,
it's just maps.
refer to addendum 7, and that's not here.
It's my favorite addendum.
Yeah.
Like,
The one that's not there.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Huh.
Where is it?
Well, it's possible that original, cause you saw, the one that you saw first was, what, 2011?
Yeah, what was that?
2010.
Yeah,
Right, 2010.
yeah,
And that's
the one you
20, it's
sent me.
possible, they literally just took the 2010 one and just repurposed it and dated it 2017, because some of the
updated.
folks on that weren't on planning board when that was adopted. So, you know what I mean, that are listed in the front page?
Yeah, the first one, it
It's
was
like
like
they
Ed
formed a
Blanchard
committee
and
just to
Joyce
do this.
Right.
Green and, yeah,
They probably did, they probably had a group that just kinda, cause the planning board
Went
wouldn't
through it.
have gone
In
through
this,
it.
Right.
in that one, I wanna say the zoning board of appeals was
The
brought
driver.
directly into
That.
the fold.
for the 2017 or 2010?
2010.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, 2010,
Yeah.
looked more like zoning board. And then 2017 looked more like
And then
planning.
just as a little bit of
Well,
an
Vintage was on
update
that
on
code.
what I've been doing concerning potential affordable housing options is we've put in for 2 different grants to try to remediate the town pit in an attempt to then get some interest in it. We've also, I can't really speak to this too much, met with a potential developer that may be interested in doing some mixed affordable / regular homes in the area, not just on the town pit, but on some of the abutting properties.
Who owns, oh, you mean like the sand pits themselves?
Mm-hmm.
How are the pits zoned? I don't even know, I should know. Are they zoned for housing, are they zoned
Not
for?
currently, the person
No.
would need to go through the process with the planning board, and then there is some water rights restrictions as well, because it is in the aquifer area of Gardner's drinking water, Snake Pond, which is in kinda like northern Gardner, right near
Or by the
South Road.
airport.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
right next to the airport.
Yeah.
That's where I get my water.
We get ours from the well.
But yeah, it's either, so it either goes into the Ware River watershed or it goes over to Gardner.
Yeah.
Or it goes to Bear Meadow and Fitchburg, you know? So we basically feed everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, again. Yeah,
So
this
if there,
one-
if someone, a developer or whomever came up and said that they wanted to, whether it be the pit, the town-owned pit that gets cleaned or the other pits that folks own and wanna sell, what would they, I mean, they'd have to go through something for zoning for housing, so it would be it would just be housing and affordable housing together?
It could be.
Is that
Like
what
the
they're-
person we've been talking to thus far, we did tell them that the town may have an appetite for some affordable or even senior housing,
Mm-hmm.
and that it would be considerable for them to look into those type of options to, we would never say sweeten the deal, but to kinda say like, oh, we wanna do this, but if we did this, cause there would be some easement issues, there is a whole deal, and I am not a community development
Mm-hmm.
planner. There's a whole deal where it's against the bylaws to loop around. So there,
Yeah,
To have a
you
big
have to have
loop.
a way in and out,
yeah,
something.
there has to be a way in and way
Mhm.
out. I've personally never had too of a bad experience with like a Leo Drive in Gardner where you can just go in and go
Mhm.
around and come out on the same road, but that must have been set up for some reason.
Yeah,
I wonder if it's for,
fire
fire and
and
safety,
safety.
because
That's
without,
100%
Yeah.
what
if,
it's
if,
what it's been.
if that got blocked, you couldn't get a fire truck or an ambulance in, if
Yeah.
whatever happened in that one way in and
But
one way out,
There is,
they wouldn't have a way to get help in.
there's enough road frontage that in theory,
Yeah.
you could have one road on this side going in, and the same with this side.
Yeah.
You know, and then
Oh,
that
yeah, I
way-
mean, there's
You know,
there's
kinda
probably a way around it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's probably what set it off is we've got, especially at the time when these things were written up,
Mhm.
we had a call station.
Yeah, so
If there was anything that held up the two guys they managed to get in town to get to the site,
yeah, then
if,
it'd be
you
a
know,
problem, yeah.
they would be.
Oh, I totally
So
agree.
having that second
Yeah.
entrance would eliminate
Yeah.
that.
Like say there was, you know, the fire, forest fire across the street, this, you know, like all these
I mean,
people
all these
can't
weird
get out.
things, you know?
Yeah, well, all those people can't get out, you
Yeah.
know? So, yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yep, so it's something that's being looked at on all levels. The select board has it as part of their goals, thus I have it as part of
Mhm.
my goals, and the planning board has it on their agenda. It's something that is being looked into.
Well, that's good. Hopefully this time
It's
if they actually approve something, they make sure there's.
Conceivably one of the only developable areas left
Yeah,
that wouldn't have a huge issue.
right.
Well, the sand pits are already ruined, so.
Yeah.
It's not like it's beautiful forest that someone would go through
Pristine
and
land, yeah.
swath through. It's like, yeah, it looks like God himself just swiped it if you look from Google Earth. It's just like, ooh, this is horrible, you know? So, yeah.
No, I mean, you hear it all the time, folks looking, like, their kids looking for an apartment to rent in town, they can't
Mhm.
find one,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Oh, there's no well, we don't have that kind of, it's not like you could do, you know, like in tenement houses and stuff
No.
like that, we don't have those.
Yeah, it's not
No.
like Gardner, it's
Yeah.
Hubbardston.
Well, you can do,
No, but you could
could
do
do an
two
AD,
families or-
yeah, you could do, an ADU, yeah, auxiliary, apartment, I forget.
Dwelling unit.
Yes, dwelling unit, so it is ADU, yeah. We just fixed that bylaw
Mhm.
last year as a
Yep.
town, so it makes sense, but yet not gonna go crazy, yeah.
Prior to that, you couldn't have done like a generational living situation,
Mhm.
right? And had your parents live in a.
You could have your
You
parents
could.
that had to have been
It
a
had to be family.
relative, now it doesn't have to be family. But it's still, you know, you can't make like a, you know, 6 tenement,
Mhm.
so.
No, but I mean, we obviously have, I mean, in the center of town, you've got a couple apartments, where
Mhm.
there's, 2 or 3
Well, you also
units
have
and-
like the apartments down there on Morgan.
Yep.
And you have the senior apartments over there off of, Old
know,
Princeton
Old
Cutoff,
Princeton,
yeah. And then we do have like the condo kind of thing where, you know, you
Yeah.
own your own condo, but a
Mhm.
lot of people own the condos
And
and
they
they
rent
rent them, yeah.
Yep.
So, you know, there are options, it's not great for, yeah, if you have your high school kid
Yeah.
that, or college, you know, kid that wants to stay close to home, but yet be by himself, the Hubbardston probably is not gonna be the place to find that.
No.
That would be more of a Gardner situation, so, unfortunately, so,
Gardner's not far away.
true, and it's set up for that kind of stuff, because that kind of stuff too, you gotta think about septic, well,
Yes,
there's a
yeah.
lot of, that goes into that kind of thing, so if you
Yes.
have,
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed that you get some of these affordable housing
And
things.
we'll
Yeah.
see, and the
Yeah.
planning board is really on board with
Mhm.
it, and we've been having every conversation that comes to the table.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
like
there's
the most
not a ton of
viable
them.
option.
Yep, there's not
You know,
people lining up at the door to have the conversation,
No.
but, and in a perfect world, I think the situation would have been fixed and presented during the housing boom of the last couple of years, but people are still building.
so, hopefully we can have something that maybe does like a little bit of both, so that way there's some sprinkled in somewhere, especially some affordable senior housing, cause that's what's like a super crunch right now.
Yeah.
There's a waiting list, years
Mhm.
for the Hubbardston, and all the ones around here, there's very lengthy waiting lists, so that's a serious problem.
It is.
And even on a smaller level, you be happy you don't have something like the high rise in Gardner. I lived directly across from that all day long, ambulances,
Yeah.
fire trucks, issues. I lived in a unfavorable neighborhood, and there was much less,
Unfavorable neighborhood.
and there was much less issues there than there was right across the street from the high rise.
Right.
But the high rise is seniors and
Seniors. Low.
And-
Seniors in Section 8, yeah.
some disability folks. But they have to have a physical disability or be elderly.
Nope, it's straight section 8 now too.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, my mother's in the Banal house and we didn't have that long a wait to get.
No? Okay. Well, that's
Cause
good.
they turn over.
Yeah.
It does depend. Hubbardston House is like a 5-year wait.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not
Yeah.
turning over that quick, you know?
But, you know, just cause you have to go to Gardner doesn't mean that you're going,
Far.
yeah,
No.
so there are living options.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the report? Like,
No.
have you thought about?
That's
Yes.
The other town.
Yeah.
Please and
Okay,
thank you.
so what would happen next then with the,
Like I suggested, I think having just breaking it up into chunks and having members of the committee review it so that at the next meeting we have a better understanding of what changes actually need to be presented. I
okay,
think that would be your step one as such a fresh committee,
okay,
understanding what the info is.
okay. I had a lot of questions I highlighted and made questions, but I don't know who to ask.
So when you called me,
Yeah.
or when you emailed me, I was in the middle of like finishing my budget. So, and that's why when when Katie had mentioned to me that there was a meeting this evening, I actually did not know that.
Okay.
So I apologize.
I'm like, I'm just gonna go ahead and have a meeting.
Yeah, I planned on calling you and the meeting got
Cause
here
like
before.
the month was going by again.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had this whole list of things on my after I'm done this budget list. So
Well, we
I-
can still talk.
I do apologize for that, yeah, so we can still set up a meeting
Yeah.
and move forward prior to the next meeting so that we're more prepared
Okay.
at that meeting, and I do apologize for
Okay.
that.
Good.
Did you
So
want
do
to
we
go
wanna
over
split this
the,
up?
whatever you wanna do, did you have questions now that you want to try to clarify before we move forward, or is it like a lengthy, like you're gonna like go through, like it's gonna take 4 hours to?
Yeah, it would take a while.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
alright, so then maybe
So,
we
yeah.
shouldn't do that.
It's
No offense. I got a meeting every night this week.
It's all right, yeah. I don't wanna be here all night
Yeah.
either. So do we wanna split this up?
Do we want to split this up now with the three of us, or do we wanna see if we can wrangle in 2 more people that are willing to help us with this?
Especially with the finance, like if we can get someone from finance to
Yeah.
actually appoint someone to this board
And that and planning too,
in planning.
Okay.
because those two kind of really need to look at the financial parts.
And there might be things in there
If-
that we don't understand because planning had a specific goal in mind with something that we wouldn't see necessarily.
Alright, so that's the second thing I'm gonna write down.
If it's a new person
get
from planning, they
liaisons.
might not know either.
There's not that many new
Just
people
saying.
from planning board though.
I think Erica Dack was gonna come on, but she has been on she's been the
Yeah.
alternate
For a while.
for a while, and I think she's the one that's willing to come to this, but don't quote me on that,
Okay,
cause
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
wanna speak
yeah,
for
yeah.
her,
Mm.
but I think that's kind of what Alice led us to,
Yeah, I was kinda hoping Alice would just stay here.
yeah, well, maybe we could get her to review this, just as funsies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In between babysitting that
Yes, I
grandchild
know.
of yours, you know, could you?
Alice, are you watching this?
Would you like to take the 50-page article? No, but she's
so
good.
I'll reach
She's
out to
really smart.
the planning and finance
Yeah.
tomorrow at work and ask
Okay.
them to get a liaison. Naya, that'll work for planning, it won't work for finance. Planning's meeting is this week,
Yeah,
but finance will likely won't meet until whenever we have our budget hearing, which is probably late April. So,
Okay.
but the representative from planning,
But if they-
not to be discouraging to finance, cause it should all come, is likely the more important of the
Yes.
2 liaisons to get to the table.
Yeah.
true, but they might, if you send them an email, they might, somebody might raise their hand
They could.
willingly, want to come join this fun
Or
party.
just remind them.
I'm having a hard time getting people to join that fun party.
I
Yeah, yeah.
They're up to what, 4 now?
4,
They got 4?
they had 5.
What was the fun party? I totally missed that.
Finance, you wanna
finance.
join?
Getting
committee.
people
Oh
on
God,
the
no,
committee.
no.
I'm
That
not,
involves math,
Not really.
No,
kinda.
it just says
It
yes.
should, really.
What do you want? It just involves, what do you want in your budget? Okay, fine. That's
Yeah.
what it involves.
Mm.
I tried it. I tried it and that's what it was,
Well,
pretty much.
Are you on the finance committee?
I tried it for a year,
Oh,
yeah. And that's what I discovered.
The The chair likes asking hard questions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do.
maybe when you were on it,
it's the same chair.
well,
That's
yeah,
what
no,
took place.
she,
Well, I think there's a, when you want
Alright,
your budget,
housing.
and yes, you can have it.
Yeah.
There's a reasonable version, like, do you need to pay the police department? Yeah, so that's your
Yeah.
budget, you need to
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
that, you can't really
So,
do anything
well,
around that.
Yes.
Something that you have to take into consideration with that is we are now years into level funded municipal service budgets.
Yeah.
So when no one's really asking for anything outrageous,
Right,
it will seem like, yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
okay, sure.
But when in reality, we've been just robbing Peter to pay Paul
Yeah.
to get through all of
Every
these different
year.
situations.
yes.
till we hit the
Yep.
wall, which will happen.
Mm-hmm.
No, we won't, because someone will magically find money. Haven't you been to enough town meetings to know that? So, are we done
Okay,
with the
so I
agenda for
think so,
affordable housing?
yeah. For the housing production plan, and then I had any other business, but we don't have any other business.
Okay.
I got nothing.
Do we wanna set a date now?
That's what I was gonna say, should we do it in April or wait till May? To make sure we have 5 members.
Well, seeing that we're in no rush,
May seems good.
Okay.
when's our meetings in May? The 8th and the 22nd? The
Yeah,
second?
no, it's early,
It's
because
early?
the second meeting in April is the 13th.
Oh, wait, April, I'm looking at the wrong month,
Well,
sorry.
that would be
No,
part of-
May, we're looking at May.
Yeah, 8 and 22 on Mondays.
May 1st and 15th. See, you don't get any earlier than that.
Is that gonna mess up Heather's? Isn't she the first and
That schedule was set,
long ago, okay,
Yeah.
not my problem,
it could be changed.
okay.
And
So-
then the 13th, or 18th, we're having a economic development roundtable / event. So we can't do that.
In May?
Yep.
Well,
Okay.
I think you're looking for Mondays, aren't you,
So
for
like
this
May
group?
8th?
Yeah.
May 8th sounds like it would work. That's the day after my bachelor party though,
Oh,
so
when you're getting married.
on June 3rd.
Nice.
Well, that should make it even more interesting.
If I'm not here, I'll
Oh, no, we're gonna
I'll
insist on you
call
being
in.
here for that.
I might take that day. I
It's
don't
the
know.
end of the day.
I might
It's
take
not
it.
in the
You're having your
morning.
bachelor party on a Sunday?
No, we're going to.
He's got the whole
Yeah,
weekend.
the whole weekend.
Oh.
May
Okay.
22?
May 22 is fine too.
Alright, so we'll go with the 22 because we want a healthy
Yeah.
town administrator,
Yeah.
so.
One that's not
We
still
don't want somebody who's
hungover.
googly eyed.
Yeah, still hungover.
We're
Alright,
only going to the Cape. We're not going far.
that
That doesn't mean you
doesn't
won't
mean
misbehave at the
anything.
Cape.
That
Nice.
has nothing to do with drinking.
We want the best brain power we can have.
And if anything comes up, we can push that forward because that is quite far away.
Yeah,
That's fine, we're good with that.
okay.
So Katie, would you like to make a motion to adjourn?
I would like to make a motion to adjourn.
I would love to second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sounds lovely.
Is someone actually here or are they